Hello everybody and welcome to the Action Figuratorium. My name is Mark Major. I am a real big toy collector here in Southeast Portland, i.e. Milwaukee, i.e. Chilwaukee. I'm also a studio owner, brick and mortar, own my own business here. And one of the things that happens when I tell people I'm from Portland is I get this face, and the face usually looks like this, like a type of repulsion, a type of horror, and I understand a lot of people have now associated Portland with a lot of negative connotations. The term people kind of use is woke garbage. Some people may claim that this place is Wokelahoma. I understand, but let me tell you, in today's episode, what I'm going to be talking about is that Portland wasn't always this kind of place. And if you're here for the action figure stories and the customs, the collecting, the marketability of toys, you don't have to watch today. I understand this is not your bag, but this is something that I feel needs to have its own video made about it. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to tell you guys what happened to Portland, how we ended up the way we are now, and I'm going to do that through this 1-minute video that I had submitted as an entry to a TedXPortland talk where they came to me. I didn't go to them. They came to me and they said, we're looking for submissions, 1-minute long videos to play in between the speakers, a sort of cleansing of the palate, and we want it to be about Portland. And I said, aha, I've got your dog. So I made this video, submitted it, and it was rejected. We are going to look at that video today because within that video, it pretty much explains how we got to where we are now. So if this is interesting to you and you want to hear it from somebody boots on the ground who's been here since the 90s and has witnessed this, then you're going to want to gather around like it's a campfire and someone, a bard per se, singing stories. You're going to also want to strap on your Portland leather, and of course you're going to hold on tight. Thanks for joining me, by the way. I do enjoy when people join me, even though I know it's hard to see me from the, neck down because of the camouflage. Don't worry, I will reveal myself later, probably after the show. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to desktop cam in a minute here, but let me give you guys a little bit of backstory of the last sort of 35 years of how Portland has been on a trajectory. You see, I got here in the 90s. I got here in 95 after graduating from a university, and Portland was a very, very kind of different but very cool place. You see, it was extremely cheap to live here. It had a very low cost of living and people made enough money to get by. And what was especially great was that the grunge scene had blown up Seattle, where everybody moved to Seattle. And guess what? Seattle became a big pond and a lot of little fish, where here in Portland, we were all big fish. But what did Portland have going for it? Well, it had a huge music scene because it was so cheap. Everybody could be full-time or part-time. They could be in a band. They could be some kind of an artist. There was a lot of people who were able to cobble together money. They could open restaurants. We had a huge restaurant scene. There was a huge club scene. There was a huge art gallery scene. A lot of free time, a lot of disposable income, a lot of stuff to do. Great culture, equal to cities like New York, San Francisco, etc. Okay, then as the 90s progressed and we got the dot-com age, Portland changed from a blue-collar town to a white-collar town, became kind of a tech bro town in what was Web 1.0, with websites like Slashdot and Metafilter and LiveJournal and Fark were all the rage, and people were into Flash software. That's when the dot-com industries came in and they started buying up all the cheap property and gentrifying it, and I changed with it. You see, I was a guitar salesman. I worked at guitar shops and I sold guitars, but I had sales experience and I was able to get a much better job working for these tech companies. So I went in and I sold customer relations management software, right? And then I got headhunted and I went to a .com and I sold into Fortune 500 companies user experience and usability reports, okay? So this is the origins of Mark Major as a sort of sales and marketing guy, and how I kind of got my chops, my corporate chops. When I say corporate, I don't mean like guys in suits. I mean people in like khaki pants and blue shirts, you know, trade shows, those kind of people, right? Software people. But this isn't what like essentially killed Portland or changed it per se. I mean, it did change it, but it didn't make it into Woklahoma. See, something else happened in about the 2010s, and that's chronicled in this TEDx video, or rejected TEDx video, I should say, that I'm going to show you guys. So let me go to the desktop here, and we're going to do this with a little bit of production. Look at that. The magic of OBS. I'm still here. This is on my Vimeo page. I will post a link down below in the description. You can visit this and watch it anytime you like. It's a delicious 1-minute video. I'm going to play the video. We are going to pause at times because the video consists of some images, which go kind of fast, some text, which you probably can't read, and some fruity music. And I made the fruity music, if that means anything to you. But before we get into that, let me just do a little bit of this. You can still hear me. I'm going to take myself off the screen so that you can see what's going on. I'm going to play this, but I'm going to pause it and read as we go. It's called Portland Urban Growth. Portland urban growth is coming. Sounds dirty, and it kind of is. Okay, Oregon was the most popular state to move to last year, according to moving company United Van Lines, and a quarter of those people came from the Golden State. And look at all this construction that's going on. Demolitions of single-family homes per year, and it goes up 2011 through 2015. Look at the numbers, people. Look at how it's just going through the roof. All right, Portland apartment rent increased 14% between February and March, the biggest increase in the country. These all have footnotes, by the way. 9th in Division, 12th in Harrison, 14th in Noak. And then this quote from Summa Real Estate Executives: "It's going to look like San Francisco in 10 years. Douglas McLeod family. And then look at that center image. That's at 9th and Clay. If you've ever been to 9th and Clay, I think you know what's there. Portland urban growth is here. It's not coming, people. It's here. This is 2016. There's my sources. Oregon Unaffordable California. It's on money.cnn, projects.oregonlive, restoreoregon.org, coin.com, oregonlive.com. Those are all real sources. Those are all real news sources, folks. There's the credits. Not that anybody cares. Okay, so let's goofball back over into me. So basically what happened was there was this huge influx of Californians, yes, an invasive species, that found Portland quite agreeable to their needs. It had been gentrified and white techified, and they moved here in droves. They tore down all the old houses, all the single-family houses. They tore down anything that was cheap and affordable to live in. They tore down any of the old buildings, the old warehouses that had been used as band rehearsal spaces, had been used as sort of underground venues, had been used for art spaces, places where Burning Man people would go and have their parties, and tore it all down and put up huge apartments to house all these Californians that were moving here, that all worked for the likes of Google and Apple and didn't need to go to the office. This is what happened to Portland. This is how it ended up getting woke and going officially broke. This was long before the summer of Floyd, the summer of love, and those staged riots where they trucked in a bunch of people. to just hang out and cause mayhem, just walk down the streets and break windows, things like that. Saw it with my own eyes. This started at least 10 years ago, 20 years ago. This is what happened to Portland because true Oregonians, people that were born and raised here, are tough individuals. People who live on the coast, people who live near the Idaho border. These are all the rugged mountain men of the Pacific Northwest. They're just gentle folk who are, you know, kind and open to strangers, and they let these people in. They let me in, but I'm a goofball from the Midwest. I fit right in. They thought I was one of them. They didn't realize that this drunk Jack Sparrow accent was from Minnesota. They just probably thought I was from a different part of the state, and I escaped in. But a lot of Californians made it here, and these are the guys who essentially wrecked the state and have wrecked Portland. Now, not everything is lost, people, because if you see the links below, you'll see that there's a t-shirt you can buy. Says, "Keep Portland away from me." I don't know if you've ever seen the Keep Portland Weird stickers based on the Keep, what is it, Austin Weird. But here it is, people. You can get this on a t-shirt now. And if you want to keep Portland away from you, you'll have one of these t-shirts or maybe one of these stickers from my Etsy shop. This is the only way that I'm going to win, is if I get people who, like me, want to return this place or retransform it back into it was, even if that means we got to do the obvious. Okay, everybody. Thanks to everybody who listened to my story. This was like a 10-minute excursion that I guarantee nobody wanted to sit through. Sometimes you got to sit through the 10-minute excursions to get to the yolk of the egg. Anyways, thanks to you guys who made it this far into the vid. I always appreciate that. Come together with all of your likes and subscribes on your time, but on our time, everybody stay charged.